Long history of UFOs, and of course there's been a lot more activity in the last few decades since we invented the atomic bomb, and they're very concerned about that and the fact that we might use it again, and because the whole cosmos is a unity and it affects not just us but other people in the cosmos, they're very much afraid that we might be stupid enough to start using atomic weapons again, and this would be very bad for us and for them as well. The first question you have to ask is how many species are there? And I used to think there were, between 2 and 12. And Apollo astronaut Edgar Mitchell, who came to Toronto a few years ago and had dinner with us, agreed there was somewhere between 2 and 12. But the latest reports that I've been getting from various sources are that there are about 80 different species. And some of them look just like us, and they could walk down the street and you wouldn't know if you ran, walked past one. And they're what we call the Nordic blondes, and also the tall whites.
Creo que los que parecen elfos son los rubios nórdicos, creo.
They're able to get away with
y están
that.
Trabajando con nosotros.
A couple of their ladies dressed as nuns went into Las Vegas to shop, and they weren't detected. And I have a friend who saw one of the men walking along the street, and somebody who would recognize that they were different, and he did. So there are those kind, and then there are the short
los pequeños grises, esos son los típicos que vemos, ¿no?
And they're the ones that you see in most of the cartoons. They're very slim arms and legs, and they're very short, just a little over 5 feet, and they have a great big torso and a great big head and great big brown eyes. They don't want to tell us how to run our affairs. They have accepted the fact this is our planet, and that we have the right to run it.
Esto es súper interesante.
But they're very concerned. They don't think we're good stewards of our planet. We're not. We're clear cutting our forests, and we're polluting our rivers and our lakes, and we're dumping sewage in the oceans, and we're doing all sorts of things which are not what good stewards of their homes should be doing, and they don't like that, and they've made it very clear. And as a matter of fact, they have given us a warning.
How?
And this has come from more than one source.
How have they made it clear? What have they done?
They have talked to people. One of the chaps I talked to about a month ago was interacting with them in 1974, he and his brother, in Peru.
Entonces, ¿te lo crees o no?
And they were taken to Andromeda, teleported, and they were told what the people there think, and that we're really wrecking our planet, and in fact that something dreadful is going to happen to it if we don't smarten up and change our ways. We spend too much time fighting each other. We spend too much money on military expenditures and not enough on feeding the poor and looking after the homeless and that we are polluting our waters and our air, and that we're playing around with these exotic weapons, thermonuclear weapons and atomic weapons, which have such a devastating effect both on our Earth and on other areas in the cosmos. And they don't like that. And that's the reason they would like to work with us to teach us better ways, but only, I think, with our consent. And they work through individuals, and they try and pick out individuals who won't be frightened to death of them, because they can give you quite a fright. They are here among us, and I'm not afraid, because as far as technology is concerned, they're light years ahead of us. And we have learned a lot of things from them. A lot of the things that we use today, we got from them, lead lights and microchips and Kevlar vests and all sorts of things that we got from their technology. And we could get a lot more, too, especially in the fields of medicine and agriculture, if we would go about it peacefully. But I think maybe some of our people are more interested in getting their military technology And I think that's wrong. I think that's wrong-headed. And that's one of the things that we're going to have to change, because we're going to have to work together.
Talking about
All of us, everywhere on the planet. They come from various places. For a long while, I only knew about ones who came from different star systems. Pleiades and Reta Reticula and several other star systems, but in the last few months I
En nuestro propio sistema, se supone que hay.
made me aware of that there are some in our star system, and that there are actually extraterrestrials who live on a planet called Andromeda, which is one of the moons of Saturn, and that there are others on
Pues en una luna de Saturno y en Venus, supuestamente, y en Marte también están.
and that they may be interacting between themselves. I suspect that they are, because there is what is called a federation of these people, and they have rules. For example, one of the rules is that they don't interfere in our affairs unless they're invited to. And that's one of the reasons probably that we haven't seen more of them until very recently.